Thanks for joining me. Today, we're looking at an investigation that has taken me almost 4 or maybe 5 years to piece together. It's a story that began with big promises, ambiguous marketing, and endless talk about the future, but ended up somewhere very different. During those 4 or 5 years, I've infiltrated Zoom meetings, challenged promoters live on air, reviewed company records, examined financial statements, analysed court documents, and worked with sources in Norway to continue sending me official records as the story has unfolded. What I'm about to share with you actually just come across my desk just 12 hours ago. So it's something that we haven't been covering for some time. But don't let that distract from what's actually happened. Every new document added another piece to the puzzle. This was a big jigsaw puzzle. I still remember the first day that I was told about Andre. This isn't a hit piece. It isn't based on rumors or gossip. It's based on evidence. Throughout this investigation, I deliberately separated what was promised from what actually was documented. Also, I've let the public records speak for themselves. What you'll hear today is the story of SuperOne, Super Labs, what they call AS, and Andre Christensen. We'll follow the timeline from the ambitious, I can't even say the word, I'm just going to ambitious vision that attracted investors through years of delays and repeated promises, right up to the point where the Norwegian courts ordered the compulsory liquidation of the company or companies. Whether you're already familiar with SuperOne or it's first time you've heard of the name, I encourage you to keep one simple question in mind as we work through the evidence. Did the reality ever match the promises? Let's begin. But first of all, what is SuperOne that you may be interested trying to figure out? Well, I'll just see if I can actually bring that up. Literally, if you go to super.one, you will find a website that looks like this. And it's got, sporting, NFTs, sports betting. Anything that do with betting is hard to get over the line. And they do have an app that is continuously updated, that continuously breaks and doesn't do anything. They have outrageous claims that they're associated with companies like Coca-Cola, Netflix, everyone you can think of in the sporting industry. However, nothing is validated. Not one piece of evidence has ever been validated. But in the meantime, they still attract investors. And, of course, the promoters are getting paid commissions for signing up investors. So it's all going to hit the fan. Hopefully we're reporting the news before it hits the media, because we aren't waiting for the court to file, even though they have filed a forced liquidation. And there is court documents. It will be probably a slow, what do they call it? A slow boat to China before the real media actually picks this story up. So what are we going to do here today? Well, it is a wee bit of a lengthy blog, but it's a goodie. Andre Christensen, he's the man on the right here. He's exposed. And I think what we might do is actually see if we can actually ring him first off, and let's see if he wants to talk to us. And then that will sort of set the tone. And we'll look to see whether he actually wants to talk to us. So let me just see if I can actually bring up his number, and we'll get straight into a nice phone call with him and see whether he wants to talk about the forced liquidation of his company. Now I've just got to make sure I spell his name right in my phone contacts, and hopefully there he is. All right, wish me luck. I haven't talked to him for a wee while. Let's just go straight into a phone call and we'll do it on the normal phone. So let's see if we can ring up Andreas.
But we're experiencing technical difficulties.
Sure we
Please try again later.
We'll just try one more time. And I will try and ring him on WhatsApp as well, because sometimes that works better. And we are ringing Norway. He does love us, by the way. So I'm sure he'll be expecting our phone call.
But we're experiencing technical difficulties.
Well, there you go. So that's not going to work. So we've got it, even though his phone's ringing, which is a good sign. And now what we'll do is we will try and ring him on WhatsApp. And let's see what happens there. Because sometimes WhatsApp will work on your phone. Maybe you can't afford to buy his phone bill anymore. 1 minute, please, caller. Doesn't look promising, guys. That's why I didn't try. It's always fun, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the video link off to Andre. And I'm also going to give him an invite to come and join us on the meeting. Hello to your old mate, Denny Dehek. So there you go. So if Andre, if you're watching this, you're more than welcome to actually come on the show and talk to us and tell us how you feel about your company being put into forced liquidation. Also, some other things that we just received is payment notes. These are companies that are creditors, and now they'll be able to put a proof of claim in, and if there is any money left, maybe they can do it. But there's a whole accolade of debt collection and the like. So here we go. So what happened to SuperOne? Court orders liquidation after years of promises finally unravel by the courts. Right. Let me just make this fit the page so we can actually do the right thing here. Let's see what we got there. One more. That's what we normally have. And we may get a reader to help us every now and again, but we've learned over the years that the most revealing part of any investigation isn't what promoters say during the webinar. It's what they are doing when they think nobody is watching. For almost 4 years, well, just over 4 years to be honest, I've been following Andre Christensen and the evolution of SuperOne. Now, ironically, if you click on Andre Christensen on my blog, which I will make sure I put inside the chat window, you will see that I don't really have much information on my website about him other than when he was first put, when he rebranded his company and he was first starting to appear in the courts. We've got other Zoom meetings where we've got promoters promoting SuperOne like it's the best thing since sliced bread. But other than that, I've got a couple of times he's mentioned in my name and shame list and also some other claims. But obviously when you go to my YouTube channel and you search for SuperOne, you'll see that I've actually done quite a lot of videos. And this guy here was the blurry face guy here. He was actually an investor who put $100,000 into Andre's system and actually lost the lot. Just before I recorded this live, and I'm doing this live recording now, we've actually got Andreas actually drunk on the phone talking to me in the past, and he's begging me not to expose him and his company, and he's telling me what he's going to be doing, but there was never any proof of what he was actually doing. We even got to the stage where I actually had one of his promoters here, and he was telling us that he was taking money off the platform. So this is where
in a very nice
This is his house anyway that you can see here. So if that's, he's probably got that in the wife's name. But we've done lots of going into his meetings, lots of disruption, normal stuff that the Avengers do. We've scrutinised the whole platform. We've looked at the marketing claims. We've read emails. So this is one of the funniest things I did. This poor Bangladesh guy here probably didn't know what hit him. But I went into a Zoom meeting and started asking questions. That must be quite alarming, wouldn't it? So I just told the guy that Andre is running a scam and he's been promoting it. And then I've said that must be quite alarming. And this is 3 years ago. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you know who I am, but my name is Danny DeHeck, and my job is exposing Ponzi schemes. And I've, if you look at that picture in the background,
Yes.
you can see that you're in it.
Yes.
Yep. And at the moment, there's 7 guys like yourself out there actively promoting SuperOne as a Ponzi scheme. And you've just told me that you've been spending money, but they haven't made any money yet. So you're spending money that you're getting from people who are signing up for memberships.
Yes.
So are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Is this new? No, I've been to Bangladesh. It's one of the loveliest countries I travelled. Very religious country.
Yeah.
And
Already.
I went to China. Yep, I went to China. I went to India. Yeah, but basically I notified that guy 3 years ago. Basically, he shouldn't be promoting this as a Ponzi scheme. What the heck are you doing? He's Bangladesh, which I've got a lot of respect for Bangladesh people. So you can see this isn't my first rodeo. So this blog here is basically validating all my claims. All the people that I've tried to say should have stayed away from this. And now it's obviously been put into forced liquidation. So infiltrated Zoom meetings, as I just showed you, challenged promoters during the live presentations. It doesn't mean they stopped promoting. Interviewed people connected to the project, reviewed the public company records, and followed a steady stream of documents from Norway that tells a story investors were never shown, while members were being encouraged to believe they were on the ground floor of the next blockchain gaming process, online gambling basically. The paperwork was beginning to reveal a very different story. This wasn't one dramatic event that brought everything undone. It was a gradual progress that unfolded in plain sight. Court filings, debt collection notices, unpaid creditors, regulatory action, and corporate changes slowly accumulated over months until the evidence became impossible to ignore. The latest court order placing Superlabs AS into compulsory liquidation didn't create this story. It simply became the final piece of the puzzle that had been taking shape for years. So what he did, he created another company and tried moving over whatever assets he had to a new name to avoid the outcome that we've just had today. If you have wondered how an opportunity that promised so much could end up before the courts, this investigation will walk you through that journey. Rather than focusing on rumours or opinions, we'll follow the document evidence chronologically, examine the claims made by the company along what was happening behind the scenes, and ask a simple question every investor should consider before placing their money. Did the reality ever match the promises? So following this investigation, one of the first, I first come across SuperOne. It was immediately reminded me of dozens of other projects that I've investigated over the years. The branding was polished, the presentations were slick, and the promoters spoke with absolute confidence about the future that was supposedly just around the corner. They even they weren't selling a successful product. They were selling the promise of what the product would eventually become. Investors were encouraged to buy into a vision of blockchain gaming, NFT, and token appreciation, with the suggestion that those who joined early would be rewarded once the ecosystem reached critical mass. As the months passed, I kept watching. I attended webinars, questioned promoters, monitored public statements, and archived presentations, because experience has taught me that today's promises often become tomorrow's evidence. The message really changes. New milestones were announced, fresh partnerships were hinted at, and launch dates seems to move whenever they were approached. Rather than focusing on what had already been delivered, the conversation was almost always redirected towards what was coming next. That raised an obvious question. If the public presentations were telling a story, what story were the official records telling? That simple question became the foundation of this investigation and led down the rabbit hole that would eventually uncover a pattern far removed from Optimus picture. I'm not sure about that word. Whoops, what have we done there? Hold it 1 minute. Optimistic. Is that right?
Optimistic.
I got it right. Picture being painted during the company's promotional events. So that's the introduction here. So the dream they were selling, you may be wondering if you haven't already figured it out. On paper, SuperOne had the ingredients of a revolutionary opportunity. Prospective members were told that they would join the future of mobile gaming, where players could complete trivia competitions, earn rewards through blockchain technology, collect NFTs, and benefited from long-term appreciation of the SRX token. So the marketing was designed to create the impression that SuperOne wasn't simply another crypto project. It was positioning itself as a next generation, a next global entertainment platform. And it wasn't like, it was, when I watched it, like all the NFTs were actually stolen images from Yeti, is it Yeti? I think it's Yeti images. And they were just layers of color put over them. Now, I don't know if you know anything about NFTs, but NFTs normally have a contract address on a blockchain where they can be verified. So all that stuff that they were promising wasn't with these NFTs. So even the NFTs were questionable where they originated from. They weren't original artwork. They were nothing. And at the time, NFTs were, something like Banksy would produce and be worth something of great value. But these NFTs were just literally images on a screen. It was ridiculous. But anyway, I exposed that at the time. No one really listened. As long as they heard the word NFTs, they didn't really matter. The story became even more compelling when promoters spoke about well-known brands, sporting personalities, and major corporate partnerships. And these were just batshit crazy at the time, because these corporate partnerships with, major sport league players, they never mentioned anything about SuperOne, but he was claiming that, like I said earlier on, he was claiming that Netflix, Coca-Cola were all partnered with him. These names were used to reinforce the perception that SuperOne had already gained significant industry recognition, and the mainstream success was only a matter of time, combined with multi-level marketing. And there we go. Marketing compensation plans that rewarded recruitment. It created a powerful narrative. Join early, build a team, and benefit from the platform. Inevitably explodes. I can't even say it.
Explodes in popularity.
The platform eventually explodes in popularity. So it's the next big thing. So we've got a couple of messages here in the chat room, which I'll see that are coming in. They don't understand that's exactly how Ponzi schemes work in the beginning. I've also been hearing they already lost access in Mexico and now are targeting people in the Philippines. Well, funny enough, I noticed that they had another round of maybe recruitment, might be a use of a better word. And they were in, I think it was Kuala Lumpur or Hong Kong. and they had the SuperOne girls walking around, and they were all staying in a hotel. I can't remember if I documented it, but that's what multi-level marketing is all about. It doesn't matter whether their project is real or it's even going to get over the line. They just keep selling it to people, and the commissions keep flowing into the promoters. So if they think something looks good, they'll promote it. So there was an individual there that actually did that. It was really interesting watching it, though, and I'm just putting these messages up on the screen so that viewers can see them clearly. They don't understand that's exactly how Ponzi schemes work in the beginning. I think we repeated that one, didn't we? Yes, we did. That's good. All right, so we've got your message on the screen there. Thank you very much for sending those through. Really appreciate it. I'm just going to make it that you fit the screen a little bit better. 1 minute, please, caller. Let's just put this down here. Yeah, so it's just, when you've been following something as much as I have on this one, it's when you get to the stage where it's under forced liquidation, I mean, you can't really deny it after that happens. So looking back, what stands out isn't just what was promised, it's how those promises were presented. The emphasis was almost always on what was coming soon, and that's what all these Ponzi schemes and scams that I expose are all in the future, nothing in the present, rather than what members could independently verify in the present. Every update appeared to move the goalposts a little further into the future, encouraging members to remain patient while continuing to recruit others into the opportunity. For experienced investigators, that pattern that's a pattern worth paying attention to, because successful businesses always demonstrate progress through measurable results, not an endless stream of forced announcements. And I don't know if you noticed, but when you're on my my website, I'll just go to this one instead. You can actually go to, my YouTube channel, you can actually go to the post section, which is where I post a lot of comments. So today I posted a news article using this as an example for good news for Goliath victims. And basically there's been a new document that's come out, which is good for the documents, and we've just updated that. Here we've got updates on PO wealth sharing. Here's a song. And here's, so there's a lot of announcements that I put out in my area, but this is one that rings a bell to me that makes me laugh. This is a guy that tried to sue me in the New Zealand High Court for 3.85 million and filed a discontinuance an hour and a half before the High Court judge actually opened the file. Unfortunately, at the time, I was a bit green, didn't know too much. This was 2.5, 3 years ago. This individual actually was doing a pump and dump. He was telling people that they could purchase tokens in a pre-sale from between 10 and 15 cents each. And when they get launched on market day, they were going to launch at 25 cents each. On market day, he launched his token at 5 cents each, and all the people that bought in the pre-sale basically lost all their money. But it gets worse. The people that purchased those tokens never got the tokens to sell, even on launch day. So he was doing it to force the price. Now, at the same time this guy was doing his stuff, Andre was out there claiming that his token is going to be worth $1 billion trillion. But 53% of the tokens were actually all owned by Andre, which means that everyone's vulnerable. That means if people did buy the tokens for what he originally purchased them for, or whatever price he deemed was the price of tokens, then he could literally have total control when he dumps these tokens out. Another guy that does something like that you may be familiar with, called Donald Trump, who obviously is the only man on the planet that's made profits at the moment, going by what's just happened lately. But interesting enough, this guy Steve here is still going even today. So this video was recorded 3 days ago, and you can see that he does announcements after announcements. So just using him as an example, he's up to AMA 42. This isn't his first project, and all these videos are pretty much all the same. And all what Steve does in his whole history is just keep giving out announcements. Nothing ever eventuates. But in the meantime, people are buying into his project because they haven't done the research. They stumble across AMA number 42. They think it's true and genuine, and that's how these guys roll. Well, Andre ain't no secret to actually that as well. That's what he's been doing. So the multi-level marketers are generating an income. He's getting cash flow. All he has to do is keep the illusion alive, and the money keeps rolling in. The project never has to eventuate. He just keeps giving announcements. So looking beyond the marketing, as I dug deeper, I realized the real story wasn't going to be found in webinars or promotional videos. Marketing material is designed to show a polished version of reality. But company records, financial filings, and court documents don't have the luxury of creative storytelling. The record that they show actually, they record what actually happened. That's why I began spending less time listening to the promoters while saying what promoters were saying and more time examining what was happening behind the scenes. A significant part of that work came from a trusted source in Norway, who over many months supplied me with official documents, registry extracts, and court filings as they publicly were available. Now, even the court filings that we've got are all in Norwegian. So I can't read Norwegian. So fortunately enough, I could get hints and have conversations in English. And also now with these days, ChatGPT, any court filings I do get, I can actually get them translated in real time and also summarized, which is very handy. Each email added another piece to the puzzle. At first, they appeared to be isolated issues. A debt collection notice here, a filing deadline missed there. But as the documents accumulated, a much clearer picture began to emerge. So as I just showed you the screenshot here, I've got these coming in all the time. This was on the 12th of the 6th. It is the 7th month at the time of recording. So this was only 3 weeks ago. This organization, this reference number, and Viking Rescue Service, AS. The Coronas, and you can see all these people here are trying to get their money out of Andre. Now, the courts have said, we've had enough, and that's why they put him into forced liquidation. And now they have a chance to actually put in a proof of claim, and the receivers will walk in there and basically shut him down. They will force him away from his desk if they have to. And because I'm privy to a lot of information that's happening at the moment, I know of other companies where individuals that think they can keep running their companies are literally being arrested and put in jail because they haven't ceased and desist operating the business. They are forced into liquidation. And that's what exactly is going to happen to Andre. Now, you'd expect that Andre would disappear, or you would expect that Andre would stop. Not the case. Let's carry on. Rather than looking at one event in isolation, I started building a timeline of everything that was happening behind the company. While the investors continued to hear optimistic presentations about the future, by early 2026, the public record was revealing a business facing increasing financial and legal pressure. Amongst these issues documented through the official records were debt collection action involving multiple creditors, government penalties linked to, now that word I can never get that right. Statutory filing obligations, meaning he hadn't paid or filed taxes for at least 2 years, court proceedings over unpaid liabilities, employer-related legal action, staff not happy. Now, we received quite a few emails from people that were working with him that were promised a percentage of the company and not actually delivered any payment at all. That's how a lot of these companies roll. They basically tell you, look, I want your expertise. I can't afford to pay it, or I'll just pay you a smidgen of something. I've literally talked on the phone, you can go through my videos, to his staff who were claiming that they were happy working for him. They have been working for him for 2 years. And then you get the other side of it where people tell me that they were getting a percentage of the company's perceived income because they believe the project, all sorts of things, all different stories, but nothing like a normal company. This was all smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. Escalating compliance issues involving company reporting requirements. So basically a whole lot of shady stuff that we see. So some people set up companies and then they have them in the Cayman Islands, the Maldives, or Wyoming. And then they have this perceived concept that they're actually running a genuine company, and they hide behind, we've got a company. In Andre's case, he actually had got a company, had even had a building, even had guards outside, would you believe? So I heard. And in this case, he also had people working. And I even saw, often I say to people, if you're running a real business, get a video camera and show us the office and the staff working. And I think we got to that stage where some of the videos that we actually saw, we actually did see him actually doing exactly that. So he did have a proper company set up, but then, like even if we go back to, I think this new year, mate, I've been to Bangladesh. It's one where we got. No, I can't. They show you all the people that are involved in it and the back end that they've got, and I can't find any of these people anywhere except on the occasional one I did find who looked like they were. So we actually have, obviously we've been investigating this for ages, but we're just trying to find the real truth. But even the videos that we saw didn't look real, but we did investigate them, and this was a sort of a breakdown investigation, which I won't bore you with because you can go watch this video if you really need to know the whole story, but I think you get the general gist of it. But there was a couple of videos like here.
Cannot satisfy everyone on a global scale. Not everything.
Here's Andre and his business. Now, a lot of businesses these days operate out of shared office spaces. I don't know. But this was the office that you often saw Andre operating out of. So yes, he may have had, I knew that the building was meant to be on the ground floor. That does look like it's on the ground floor. So it did add up that he did have real offices, and obviously now we know he did have a real company set up. So anyway, let's get back into it. So none of these developments on their own prove wrongdoing. That businesses can face financial difficulties for many reasons. However, when viewed alongside years of ambitious marketing, delayed product delivery, and continued recruitment, they raise legitimate questions that deserve closer examination. Those questions became even more important as the investigation progressed and the courts themselves become involved. So the paper trail started growing. One of the biggest mistakes investors made is assuming that warning signs appeared all at once. They really do. More often, they emerge gradually, buried inside public record, and very few people ever read. That's exactly what happened here. While SuperOne continued to promote an exciting future through webinars, recruitment presentations, and official records, the official records in Norway began documenting a series of problems that painted a very different picture. Over the course of many months, I received regular updates from Norway as new documents became available. They weren't anonymous rumors or social media gossip. They were official records showing an increasing number of financial and legal issues affecting the company behind the project. Every update was carefully checked against public sources before being added to my investigation, allowing me to build a timeline as events unfolded rather than relying on hindsight. Pattern became increasingly difficult to ignore. Among the documented developments were outstanding debt referred to collection agencies. So we knew there was agencies out there that were actually repoing stuff or told that they could actually repo vehicles. There was a couple of vehicles there that were leased, and they were, it was just, lots of that sort of stuff. Legal action by suppliers seeking payments, government penalties for failing to meet have I done this? Statutory obligations, questions surrounding annual accounts and paying tax filings, court proceedings involving creditors and former employees, related signs of financial distress despite ongoing promotional activity. So this was similar to the previous paragraph, but I think there's a reason why we're covering it. What struck me wasn't the size of every individual debt. Some were entirely modest. It was quite interesting. Instead, it was the consistency of the pattern. Companies genuinely experience temporary cash flow problems, I'm just going to read the paragraph because I'm getting a bit out of breath.
Usually work quickly to resolve isolated issues. Here, the public record showed new problems continuing to emerge over an extended period, while the outward message remained overwhelmingly positive. The contrast between the marketing narrative and the documentary evidence became one of the defining themes of this investigation.
Yeah. I wish Andre was here to speak to us, so it's always fun when it carries on. I'm just going to sit here. Just going to go here. Right, so the court finally steps in, so that's fantastic. By the time the Norwegian courts became involved, this was no longer a story about missed deadlines and unpaid invoices. The evidence has reached to a point where the legal system itself was required to intervene. According to official court records, Superlabs AS was ordered into compulsory liquidation by the Vestfold, is it? Vestfold? Vestfold District Court under section 16-15. That does seem like it's going backwards, just saying, of the Norwegian, is it right?
Norwegian.
Norwegian Companies Act. The liquidation would proceed under Norway's Bankrupt Act, with a court-appointed administrator taking control of the process and creditors involved to lodge their claims. So just like we've done with Goliath Ventures, we now have this. I'll just show you because it's quite interesting what extent. So the receivers in the Goliath Ventures case have actually set up a place where the victims can actually go, and you can see all the dockets. So all the people that are filing their proof of claims and all the exchange between the different. This is a $400 million scam that we busted in Florida, but the point is that this is what a receiver has actually set up, and makes it really interesting. So no doubt this is an opportunity for these people that have lost money to actually put in a proof of claim, just like they have in other cases that I've seen. For many readers outside Norway, compulsory liquidation may sound like just another legal term, but it isn't. It represents the point where the court determines that a company should be dissolved and its affairs placed under immediate, is it immediate?
Independent
Administration. But basically they take over the runnings of your company, and they do that to protect the investments that people have actually done. Oh my goodness, they're watching the rugby, watching the US get their butts kicked. There's a gridiron game on at the moment. I don't even follow gridiron, but somebody just sent me a picture of that. In practical terms, control moves away from directors and into the hands of appointed administrators, whose responsibility is to identify the company's assets, investigate its financial position, and deal with the claims of creditors in accordance with the law. What makes the development practically significant isn't that it wasn't an isolated event. It's followed months of documented financial and legal problems that have already appeared in the public record. The liquidation order didn't create those issues. It brought them together in a formal legal progress. For investors who had spent years hearing about exciting product launches, forced token values, and ambitious expansion plans, the contrast could hardly have been greater. The contrast hardly have been greater. I'm not sure if that says right.
The contrast could hardly have been greater.
Yeah, so everything that they are claiming, now the reality is overwhelming, because how can this company claim they're going to go to Mars and back, and then all of a sudden underneath this fantastic company? And I've got a fantastic example of that coming up in a video that was recorded 4 weeks ago. The promotional story was about growth. The court recorded was about winding up the company. So you got them on the public front saying they're going to the moon or Mars, and then the court was about winding up the company. So it's a familiar pattern for me. It's not my first rodeo. The question I've been asked repeatedly is whether I believe SuperOne was simply an ambitious project that failed, or whether the warning signs were visible much earlier. That's a fair question, and it's one that every investor should ask before committing their money to any opportunity. Businesses fail every day for legitimate reasons. Markets change, products don't gain transactions, and companies run out of capital. Failure on its own is not the effect evident of misconduct. So just because a company fails doesn't mean misconduct. What concerned me was something different. As I looked further into Andre Christensen's business history, I found a recurring pattern that extended well before SuperOne itself. Earlier ventures had also been built around ambitious promises, exciting technology, and the expectation that investors simply needed to remain patient while the next breakthrough was just around the corner. Where one project lost momentum, another appeared with rebranding, a fresh narrative, and another opportunity for supporters to believe that success was finally within reach. And what really pisses me off, I don't know why they allow these companies to have their websites still visible when they've gone into forced liquidation. So how hard would it be for a receiver to actually come in here and actually take this website down? I don't even know what's happening here. Help center. It's just not even SuperOne help, and then I've gone off to a ticketing center. So if you click out of this box here, and then you're stuck on a one-page website. And if you click on that button there, you can pick English, even though you're already in English. So it looks like this website's doing nothing. It's just going around in circles playing a video. But if there's obviously nothing you can do here. Even if you went to the X account, let's have a look. We've got, after 13 years of trying to get this project off the ground, he's following 151 people, and he has 840 followers, and they joined back in 2018. So that's just fantastic. If we go to their Facebook page, you can see that I've been banned, which is impossible because I'm using a brand new Facebook account that no one knows about, so that doesn't work. And then you go to a company called Medium. Now, Medium's a place where people can post blogs. Now, would you believe that my Medium account has been banned because somebody complained? So no one spent the time complaining about SuperOnes to get this complaint. I could do it, but when I sign in, it tells me that my account's been banned and I can't actually even report people. But if you wanted to have a look at this company and you're thinking that, oh, he's going to pull himself out, the last time he posted anything was now 4 years ago. But this is all linked off their website to build credibility. And then I think you have Telegram. So Telegram over here, let's join that. Let's join that. And let me see if I can actually bring that up and see what type of activity that we have. I'll just see if I can quick time. Where are we? Signal, WhatsApp, Telegram. So hopefully you'll see Telegram turn up on the screen. And there you go. So this is really interesting, because why I'm saying it's really interesting is the last post that we see here was actually, they had a town hall meeting on the 22nd of December, 2024. So you think that was, you think that would be quite cool. So if you go to the Zoom link, I'm just curious whether that still works. I'm just going to have a look. We can actually go to the Zoom link. Bit of a laugh. Let's see if we can go in here and see if we can still get in here. My name, well, let's go. Let's take a big name out of here. Let's pretend that we're Andreas. There's my picture I was talking about earlier on, looking out the window now. So let's go remember my name in future. Turn the video off, and let's go in here. There won't be anyone in here. But would you believe this is a webinar? So we're going to actually monitor that just for shits and giggles. We'll put that name out there, and we'll monitor that. We'll leave that open just in case somebody turns up in there while we're here. But anyway, if I go back to Telegram, what I normally do when I'm in a Telegram room is I go to SuperOne News, and in here it allows you to go through files, links, and similar channels, which is quite handy. So if I go to links, you can see that the last post here that we saw is way back 2 years ago. We can go to files, and I've actually downloaded what I thought was their latest pitch deck for the affiliate marketing. I've included that in the blog. And media, you can come in here and you can actually have a quick look. You won't be able to see these screens, but you can get the idea that the flashy sort of graphics that they were actually using were just amazing, but you won't be able to see them, but you get the idea. So let's go back to our blog. That history doesn't automatically determine the outcome of every new venture, but it does provide important context. Experienced investors don't evaluate opportunities in isolation. They look at the track record of people leading them. Questions worth answering include. So what we're basically doing is we're looking at Andre, and we're looking at his involvement, his historical stuff that he's been involved in, and then we should be asking questions about the man behind the scenes. What have they successfully delivered in the past? Well, I can tell you now, nothing. Were previous investors ultimately rewarded? And that is, we've got video evidence of people that have been promoting this, who are multi-level marketing, profiting from recruitment every day. Did earlier projects archive the milestone that was promised? Achieve the milestone that was promised. How were setbacks explained? And were those explanations supported by evidence? Everyone's got an excuse. I'm just currently involved in another claim by a company called Play Global, and they have been helping another company that claims that they were hijacked, or they were, for the use of a better word, hacked by an Indian company that had full access to their data. And now they've come up with an exit strategy where they're trying to recover the money from the scammer, with a person that they claim has scammed them, even though it seems like an in-house dispute. But long story short, I've challenged them and said, well, if that's the case, where's the case files? What's the person's name you're alleging's done the crime? And they can't provide me anything. So then it becomes hearsay. So anytime a project fails, you don't get anything in the media about it. Now we have got stuff in the media because we've got documents that prove that obviously Andreas hasn't been doing as he claims. So as I say, how were the setbacks explained? Where's the evidence of failed ventures if they are explaining why these things fell over? Because often anyone that complains about losing their money, their information is suppressed, or they get kicked out of these communities and these Telegram groups. Has the business model fundamentally changed, or has it simply been repackaged under a new name? Well, I'm going to show you that he's rebranded himself at least 4 times that I know of. There were no different, these are not difficult questions, yet they are often overlooked when the excitement takes over. Is that excitement?
Excitement.
Got to learn to read one day. Looking back over the history of SuperOne, those questions become even more relevant because they encourage investors to judge the business by its demonstrated performance rather than its marketing. So people often get it mixed up between marketing and actually performance, and actually things that get into the till, which meaning, is there anything generating income from this company at the moment? If so, what and where is it coming? Is it coming from affiliate sales, or is it actually coming from products that they have within the company? 99.9% of the stuff that I seem to invest at comes from affiliate marketing. In my experience investigating schemes like this, the past does not predict the future, but it often provides valuable clues about what questions should be asked before believing the next promise. Alrighty, so following the rebrand, yes, it's been rebranded. One of the most common tactics I see investigating long-running investment schemes is intervention. When confidence begins to fade, the branding changes, a new company appears, and a fresh website goes live, and everyone's tokens get exchanged from one worthless token to another. I just added that bit in. The logo is updated. Yay, it's different. Supporters are told the business has entered exciting new phase. Yippee! While uncomfortable questions about the past quietly disappear from the conversation. That's exactly why Superlab AS caught my attention. Rather than presenting itself as a continuation of SuperOne, the Norwegian company appeared to represent a fresh start. Why do we need a start when we haven't even finished the old disaster? On paper, looked like a legitimate technology business, but public records told a more complicated story. Company's registration showed ownership ultimately leaning back to Andre Christensen, while products, if I said that right, company registration showed ownership ultimately leading back to Andre Christensen, while the product's messaging and all other visions remain remarkably familiar. The name had changed, yet many of the underlying promises had not. So over time, the timeline became increasingly difficult to ignore. So I remember the first company was Mojo. And if you go to any search engine, I believe, and search for, I'm just going to have to try this in real time, Mojo, and then if you search for Andre Christensen, I'm pretty sure you can actually find some bad press about his, so let's just have a quick look in here and see if that, if there's anything. Not that it's boring, but yeah, let's see if we can get past here. There we go. So here's the whole accolade, and we did this yesterday. It was really, really cool, actually. But you can have a look, and somewhere along there, Mojo Gaming Limited, and then that turns into Andre, the directors, Mojo Holding Limited, Mojo Marketing Limited, and a really Mojo Technology Limited. And these are all the brands associated just with that one brand. Now, he was trying to get a gaming license, and he actually lost his gaming license for that company. And I remember doing a big investigation all about that. So originally, his intentions were, see, we've got Super Partners, Super Lab Partners, SuperOne Capital. You see a pattern here, companies after companies. I don't even know, SuperOne Management, Mojos. So all these companies are either present or struck off. Dissolved. How many companies dissolved? Okay. And he was born in 19. Oh my God, he's 1 year older than me. 10 companies, all been dissolved. Absolutely batshit crazy. And he was claiming that his they were all operating out of this address here, which is in London, which is batshit crazy. And I bet this is the same premises that Des Amy used. Oh my goodness. I can tell you exactly where the street is. So Des Amy was using a agency to register the same businesses, and I have been here numerous times. So this is like everyone uses the same address as a registered agent of these companies. So needless to say, when you search for these companies, you can obviously see a complex company structure that has all fallen over, rebranded itself. Why would any company in their right mind continuously rebrand themselves if they're having such great successes? So Wybit introduced another vision built around blockchain technology. That was another company. SuperOne expanded the story with trivia competitions, NFTs, and the SRX token. And then at the end, the last ditched effort is Superlab, not SuperOne, but if you didn't know, AS emerged as the latest corporate vehicle behind the same broader narrative. On their own, rebrands aren't unusual. Businesses change name for perfectly legitimate reasons every day. However, investors should always ask why. A company has been restructured and whether the underlying business has genuinely changed. So, it's like we're merging with, now I sell Garmin watches, right? So there's my Garmin watch. Absolutely love it. This Garmin are purchasing companies all the time, and they put them under their umbrella. Do you see Garmin changing its brand every 10 minutes? No, but they acquire other companies. So it's not unusual for people to acquire other companies. However, if all of a sudden Garmin started selling clothes, well, they might have clothes already actually, what would Garmin be unusual? Let's say garden supplies. Wouldn't you think that was a bit unusual? But if they rebranded the company and then started selling gardening supplies, then you may realize why these companies change names. But if they rebranded themselves and sold exactly the same products, then you'd sit there and think, why they rename their company? Or if you look at the company and see that all their assets have been moved from one entity to another entity, there's always some story behind that. This was exactly the same. Companies do change. In this case, the marketing continued to focus on the future success, while the documented evidence increasingly pointed towards financial and legal difficulties. That disconnect became one of the most defining features of my investigation, and ultimately led me to examine not only just the company itself, but the pattern of the businesses that preceded it. So the human cost. Now, no doubt when this company actually does fall over, I'm going to get all these emails from investors, and they're going to claim that they've lost money and they wish they listened to me. Hey, Neville, what have you said here? Let's see, you actually got banned for posting pictures of Bob's feet. Haha, you're talking about my Medium account. Yeah, no, and try writing to Medium. They just don't even want to have a bar of it. I tell them that people maliciously go after my social media and report me. And I'm battling with AI statistics. It's absolutely crazy. So Medium was one of my preferred platforms that I used to post to all the time, but they won't even read about me and about me being in the New York Times, Bloomberg documentaries, been on CoffeeZilla, been in The Guardian, and realize that I fight scammers. And these malicious reports that we get, they take them as real, true, and genuine. And some platforms are just absolutely hopeless. One of those companies was, I won't even mention the name. Anyway, so, but yeah, it just surprises me. Super Partners sounds like a dating app. It could be a dating app. There might be hope for us yet, but I better run it through my partner first. Whoa, he deserved more than the back of Barocca. More than a back of Barocca. Don't quite get that one. Or maybe not following that one, but that's okay. Let's carry on. So what have we got? We've got 7 votes so far. If you haven't participated in the poll, after 4 years of promises, 5 maybe, what do you think happened to SuperOne at the end? Reality finally won. Another rebrand coming. Still waiting to launch. Follow the money. So if you haven't participated in that, please do have a go. That would be awesome. And we do welcome any comments. And we are broadcasting on 6 different platforms at the moment. So if you are on Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, Kick, or LinkedIn, welcome. But by all means, feel free to make a comment if you are watching or you have any questions. So as we do, like I'm Danny the Heck, I name and shame anyone running or promoting a Ponzi scheme or a scam. We're here to help people, not at the bottom of the cliff, but we go head to head with these people who are promoting these scams. Hence why I didn't wait for the court documents to come out before I started reporting. And I literally went after Andre, literally called him up, talked to him face to face. I've been in his Zoom meetings, and he was trying his best to stop me reporting on him. Now, I can just about bet you bottom dollar that if I had a larger voice, I might have actually been able to stop more victims. I don't want to talk to people at the bottom of the cliff. I want to talk to them at the top of the cliff. I want to be in the trenches with these guys and go head to head. I'm not here pussyfooting around. But unfortunately, some people just don't want to believe me. They think I have a hidden agenda. I don't know what they think. They might think I'm a YouTuber and I do this for clicks. I survive solely on donations. That's how I work. And it's not a very high-paying job. I've just about gone broke myself over the last 5 years. Just recently, I had a little influx of income because CoffeeZilla actually asked people to help donate and support me. I do have people who book my time, and that's how I survive. I survive on breadcrumbs. It's not a profiting business. However, maybe that's why some people don't listen to me, and now hindsight's a wonderful thing, and they probably wish they did. So the human cost is the people that didn't want to listen, who got caught up in all the hype and the promotion, are often the real victims. They got referred to this by a friend who said it's a real good thing to be involved in. They're going to do this and they're going to do that. And they believed all the hype and the paraphernalia. Unfortunately, I can't help you get your money back. There probably won't be any money. All probably went on lifestyle marketing. We've heard that before, haven't we? So it's easy to become absorbed in court documents, company filings and financial records, but they only tell part of the story. Behind every recruitment presentation and every token purchased, a real person who believed they were investing in something with genuine long-term potential. Many were seasoned cryptocurrency investors who they were ordinary people looking for an opportunity to improve their financial future, encouraged by friends, family members, and trusted community leaders who genuinely believe they have discovered something special. Over the years, I've spoken with people who joined SuperOne at different stages of the journey. There's already a whole list of carnage that he's got, but they always go after new victims. Some were enthusiastically early adopters. Others become promoters themselves because they believed in the vision being presented. As delays mounted, the promised milestones slipped further into the future. Many found themselves defending the projects rather than questioning it. That's one of the most damaging aspects of recruitment-driven business models. Once people have invested both money and reputation, admitting that something may be wrong becomes increasingly difficult. People get too much invested in these opportunities that they just can't get out. They've spent time, energy. They've told their friends and family that this is the real deal. And sometimes they just go down with the Titanic because it's too embarrassing. This is why I continue investigating these schemes long after the public interest fades. The headlines usually focus on the founders, the court cases, the financial losses, but the real victims are the people left trying to explain to their friends and family why they encouraged others to get involved in it. Why didn't they see the red flags? Some lose savings. People have taken out their 401ks and deposited into these investment opportunities thinking that this is a better return on their investment. Others lose relationships. Many lose trust, not just one company, but in legitimate investment opportunities as well. That's a consequence that really appears on a balance sheet, yet it's often the most lasting damage of all. Now, all these Ponzi schemes and scams that we go after in my team of Avengers, it's all about building trust. You trust the platform, you see the vision, you have the belief. But over here, the reality speaks louder. Trust is one thing. Friends and family and relationships are another. If you are destroying or jeopardizing friends and family over here so that you can get wealth, then you have just destroyed the most important thing in our lives is relationships and friendships. Who do you break bread with? Who do you have a glass of wine with? Who do you have a beer with? Who do you go to the pub with? If you've gone and abused those relationships because you decided to push or coerce friends and family into investing in something that you believed in, and now you've lost it. That scheme has fallen over. That dream that you were preached has collapsed. And now you're sitting here thinking, how do I tell this to my friend, my brother, my partner? How do I go to the pub and see that guy at the pub that I told that this was a sure deal? That's the lesson every investor should take away. One of the reasons I continue documenting schemes like SuperOne is because the warning signs are remarkably consistent. The technology changes, the branding evolves, the buzzwords come along. One year it's cryptocurrency, next year it's NFTs, artificial intelligence, or blockchain gaming, or credit cards. Amazing credit card, where you can buy a credit card for $1,000 and your friend gets $550 in commissions because he sold it to you. And it's not even a credit card, it's a debit card. That's the thing now. Arbitrage trading, click and pasting trading. Yet the underlining sales techniques remain surprisingly familiar. Investors are encouraged to focus on the opportunity rather than the evidence. Just think about it. Think about the paradise that you're going to get yourself into. Think about the future. Have belief. But don't listen to the evidence, because there is no evidence that these things will ever eventuate into what they claim. The hype, the future rather than the present. So think about where any of these things that you're investing in. If you're going to invest in anything, if you don't know how to do it properly, go check out my guides on my website. They're $5 each. Instead of paying $5 for a donation, go and buy one of my guides, share it with somebody in your family who thinks the blockchain is the future of their life. So rather than focusing on the future, focus on the present. Is this scheme generating money? And if it is generating money, ask the fatal question, where is that money coming from? Is 99.9% of the revenue coming from affiliate sales, commissions, or is it actually coming from the products that they're claiming they're going to deliver? The present. Look at the present. Where's the money coming from? And verify those claims. Don't take people on their word. Show the documents. Show you how this company's just begun. Hasn't got any financials yet. I've heard it all before. And the fear of missing out, we call it FOMO, rather than the need for independent due diligence. People say, I don't need to do due diligence because my friend knows all about that sort of stuff. I don't understand about the blockchain. I don't understand about crypto wallets or anything like that. I just don't understand. So don't trust anybody. Don't trust anything that you don't understand. You need to understand this. All the buzzwords, all the fancy words, they will use it to bamboozle you. If there's one lesson from this investigation, it is this: never confuse a compelling story with a successful business. Look, if you want to get involved in a franchise like McDonald's, for example, what due diligence would you do? Would you just go into McDonald's and go buy yourself a building and then go and buy yourself a franchise? Or would you go to experience the meal at McDonald's first? You could go on the internet and figure out that there's 150,000 different McDonald's franchises around the world. You could go and do a search for, collapsed McDonald's franchise, and you could read about it. You could probably go and find good stories, bad stories. But at the end of the day, the evidence speaks for itself. They really do exist. There is profit to be made in owning a McDonald's franchise. Just using that as an example. So before investigating an opportunity, take the time to look beyond the promotional material. Stop reading the brochures, the PDFs, the pitch decks, listening to people in the Zoom meetings who are recruiting, who don't even understand the product or the technology behind it. Ask difficult questions. If they kick you out of these Telegram groups or these WhatsApp groups, then if you can't ask questions and they call you a naysayer or somebody who doesn't have belief, then what the hell is belief got to do with a investment opportunity? Read the financial statements. Oh, they often don't exist. If they are available, there you go. Search public company records. Look at the regulatory warnings. Research the people running the business. And perhaps most importantly, examine what they actually have delivered, not what they say they're going to do next. Before committing your money, ask yourself, is there a finished product that people are using today? Look, I've got a cell phone here, right? Here we go. Cell phone in my hand, right? Cell phone. Apple, when they first come out with the cell phone, we thought, what the heck were they doing? The iPhone 3. Is it the iPhone 3? Apple don't make cell phones. I remember saying they make MP3 players. Now, the best cell phone in the world, if you're a Samsung user, you probably won't agree, How many versions of cell phones have we got? iPhone 16 Max Pro. This is an iPhone Max 14. Isn't it incredible how good this is? This is a finished product by Apple, a company that started out selling, I think they made their big hit when they did MP3 players. You know, no one uses an MP3 player now. But we can see their products make money. We use the products in our day-to-day. So what finished product does any investment opportunity actually have that the consumer is using? And this is what I was asking the company that I investigated last week called Play Global. I asked the CEO of the company, the executive director, I said, how does the company generate income now? And he said, we've got lots of investment opportunities. And I said, I don't want to know about your investment opportunity. I want to know how you are generating sales now. And he couldn't give me a straight answer. So what finished products that people are using today? Can the company claims be verified? Who's your independent verification? I want to see it, because you're not getting my money if you don't. Does the business generate genuine revenue outside recruitment? Yeah, figure out where the money's coming from. Is it coming from people selling the dream, or is it coming from the products they claim that they are delivering? Are financial statements and company records consistent with the marketing? Back it up. Have a look. I mean, one company that's claiming they're going to raise $100 billion with their super token, blah, 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 we saw in financials that they'd only turned over £35,000. What is the track record of the founders and the senior leadership team? Now, if I said to you, SuperOne, and you've been following, who is the leadership team with Andre Christensen? Can you think of anybody? Probably not. So we can look at that company straight away now, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and say, who is the corporate structure behind Andre Christensen? Is it one man with a dream? Would I still invest if I removed every promise about the future and judged the business only on what exists today? Isn't that a fantastic question? Those questions won't eliminate every investment risk, but they will help filter out many of the opportunities that rely on hope than evidence. Had more people asked those questions during the life of SuperOne, I suspect far few would have found themselves waiting for promises, in many cases, that never materialized. All right, the last sales pitch. Now, this is something I grabbed out of the Telegram group. One of the last affiliate presentations described by SuperOne perfectly captures the gap between marketing fantasy and corporate reality. Rather than acknowledging the mounting legal and financial problems that eventually consumed the company, affiliates were handed a polished 14-page presentation inviting them to earn like legends and build what was described as the future of sports entertainment. The presentation promised almost everything an investor could hope for. Global sports gaming ecosystem. Imagine being able to control world gambling all on one app. Football clubs, brand games, and celebrity partnerships. Oh my God, everyone, every game, everything that you could think of, Andre, one-man band, had actually managed to razzle up with no evidence. Real-time revenue sharing, oh my God. Cash prizes, tournament winnings, token appreciation, and exchange listings. It just gets better. Passive bonus affiliate commissions, luxury founder incentives, including an exclusive Bali event. Well, that was all in the brochure that we're just going to see. Financial predictions become even more ambitious. One slide forecasted 30 million active players. That's a lot of players. 1 billion in annual net revenue, 200 million paid to affiliates, and another 200 million associated to token holders. Oh my God. Another page promoted token valuations, passive income, multi-level bonus structures, executive pre-sales packages ranging from $10 to $25,000. A roadmap suggested exchange listings, exposure user, explosive, I can't even say that word. Explosive user growth and worldwide adoption were just around the corner. Looking back with the benefit of hindsight, the presentation now reads less like a business plan and more like a marketing brochure designed to keep belief alive. While affiliates were being encouraged to recruit new participants using incredibly increasing ambitious project, the public record tells a completely different story. Debt collection notices, employment disputes, court proceedings, compensation dissolution, and ultimately liquidation. The contrast is perhaps the clearest lesson of the entire SuperOne investigation. The promotional material continued to become more, I can't even say that word.
Extravagant.
Extravagant, even as the underlying business was falling apart. So this is a sales pitch that you can have a look at. Earn like legends, and everybody can go here. Mobile gaming market, mobile gaming trailblazers. And look, all these graphs are just there to present growth, and everything is positive. So this is just a marketing brochure. Earn like whales. Oh my God, just so simple, isn't it? You just get this app, everyone participates. And he's got himself not only in one gaming sector, he's got himself in basketball, cricket, NFL, music, and he's got Spotify. He claimed that he had, I forgot about this one, he claimed that he had association with Spotify and Netflix, but you couldn't find anything on Netflix or Spotify about a partnership with Andre Christensen. All the NFTs, the footballs, all the images. You know, it was absolutely batshit crazy. You just won $35,000 and guarantee that no one ever won any money of that value from his app. Club prizes, cash prizes, club games, players, clubs, media. Just, you've got it, he's got it. You know, what has he got here? It looks like he's got pictures of McDonald's. He must have heard me. Nike, Coca-Cola, brand games. So you can get branded games. Brand games, collections, invitations. You know, it's just unreal. Brand benefits, increasing engagement from customers and employees. Reach, customers, reach loyal retention, motivation, recognition, productivity, and head counts. He's got McDonald's, Starbucks, BMW, Nike, Coca-Cola, and it's XRP, non-refundable blockchain assets. Oh, mate, this is just the best thing ever. Yearly revenue per user. I don't know, $60. Don't know. But anyway, advertisers. So everyone is just making money from people, you know, and then here comes the bonus plan, the 9 levels. So these are all the levels of commission that you were going to get. Level 1, 20%. So every time you recruited somebody, I believe, you got 20%. 20% across the board. You know, the entry point was $10. You could pay $10 and then you could actually recruit this to people. So this is, you know, exotic and exclusive Bali founder event. I'd love to know whether this brochure is 2 years old. Love to know whether this actually ever led to anything. And here they are. Download on Apple App Store and also get it on Google Play Store. Now, he did manage to get the app on the App Store, which was amazing. And it didn't work. It kept crashing. And I was laughing at it when it came out. It was just batshit crazy. So you can go and have a look at the sales pitch. A lot of people fell for it. But at the end of the day, it now becomes just another saga in the, you know, in the whole marketing pitch. Business as usual. Now, you may think that Andre is going to slow down the farm. Was it calm the farm? And then it's going to be like, I'm sorry, guys, I've been living a scam. I've been telling you one thing and the reality in the background is another. No, you won't believe the next chapter of this, or the next section of this blog. And it's really easy to read, but basically business as usual. Anyone believe the legal proceedings would cause anyone would believe that the legal proceedings would cause the promotional machine to slow down. A town hall meeting, you won't believe this, on the 8th of June 2026 tells a very different story. Far from acknowledging the mounting legal and financial problems surrounding the company, Andre Christensen presents what is described as one of the most exciting movements of SuperOne's history. Yes, way at the very end. It's not over until the fat lady sings. It's not over until the fat guy carries on in his presentation. Over the course of the presentation, Christensen describes plans, if taken at face value, would transform SuperOne into a global sports and entertainment powerhouse. He spoke in the meetings of Binance. I can't even read that name, but I think it's ByteDance.
ByteDance.
Yep, OpenAI, everything that's coming out in the latest and the greatest in our life. Christian, what do we call it? Andre has got his finger in a pie with no proof. I can't even read that name, but I do know it. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, DeepMinds, Guinness World Records, FIFA related opportunities through TikTok, celebrity footballers, NBA stars, NFL personalities, and a worldwide launch that he could suggested could attract between 5 and 50 million fans. This was just 4 weeks ago. Financial predictions became even more ambitious. Affiliates were told that a 10-week pre-sale could generate 250 million, with Christensen suggesting it could potentially reach $1 billion. If participants exceeded expectations, he predicted the company's token could eventually achieve the valuation of $5 to 10 billion. Wow. Boy, it sounds a lot like Global Pay. Anyway, that's another scam. Encouraging members to imagine their existing tokens were worth $10 each. Encouraging members to imagine their existing tokens being worth $10 each, and repeatedly emphasized that everything was finally coming together after years of development. So this is just happening. What struck me most wasn't simply the size of the project, it was the timing. By this stage, the company had already accumulated a documented history of debt collection proceedings, employment disputes, and mounting legal difficulties that repeatedly resulted in compulsory liquidation. Is that right? I've got that word right, haven't I?
Compulsory.
I'm good. Yet none of those issues formed a part of the presentation. Instead, affiliates were encouraged to focus on future celebrities, billion-dollar forecasts, and life-changing token values. Looking back, the town hall now deserves a remarkable snapshot of gap between what was being promised publicly and what was being documented evidence was revealing behind the scenes. Now, I can't really do this justice except letting it play for a while. I need to run off to the loo, so I'm going to let you listen to this, and you'll just be blown away.
Andreas,
So
directly from Dubai. Hello.
Fantastic.
Welcome.
This
Welcome,
is really
Andreas.
cool. I'm sorry for the little delay here. So a lot of things going on. I'm 1 hour away from flying to Singapore and Super AI and meeting with ByteDance. So I got to be very efficient today. I had a lengthy session with the top leadership a few days ago, and I think they were pretty amazed about what they saw. Obviously, today we have not put lipstick on the pig. We have actually put bandage or band-aid on the pig. We are not allowed to show you everything, but we're going to give you a very, very overview brief. And what I can promise is that over the next days and weeks, a lot of things going to happen. So I think without further ado, I should enter into the presentation. Let me see here. What I'm able to share here, this and this. Okay, so the one the other day was called For Your Eyes Only, so we labeled this for all eyes only. So we are into an extremely exciting moment of SuperOne. What we've been working with for a very, very long time is now coming to the market. There are extremely well preparations. We will show you some of them here today. And obviously we needed to paint a little bit on some of them because there are some logos and stars and clubs that we cannot actually reveal at this point in time.
Why is that?
So, but I would like to say, first of all, thank you for everyone that's contributed to the fantastic progress we have. the team and I is working extremely hard now to get this into the market in a very focused manner that will benefit for everyone. And as we said many times, we have one of the biggest football stars all lined up.
All right.
And we are now dealing with the.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this onto another screen because it's breathtaking when you're watching this. But I'm not going to play the whole video, but I do want to, let's see if I can actually, oh yeah, I've got it there.
Yes, Andreas. Directly from Dubai. Hello.
Welcome. This is really cool.
Welcome.
I'm sorry for the little delay here. So a lot of things going on. I'm 1 hour away from flying to Singapore and Super AI and meeting with ByteDance. So I'm going to be very.
So earlier on, I was talking about an individual that was operating out of Hong Kong, Singapore. I couldn't remember, but now I remember. So this is the individual that I have actually seen in Dubai, and I said that they had the SuperOne girls. So this guy, we've got photos of him with boats and with the girls and the whole 9 yards. So this is a true believer, a true promoter. And as you saw just a wee while ago, I don't know how far we got up to that before I stuffed up, but I'll just have a wee look. We're up to 211. But just have a look at this. It's worth watching some of this because it's just, you'll get an idea of what he's all about. And I'll see if I can speed it up a little bit.
So images, it's a lot of details that's ongoing. The extended execution team of SuperOne spent 3 days last week with the start team nailing out details, and we are now putting this into motion. So I'm pleased to also tell you that SuperOne, when it comes to the execution team, we have added a great deal of capacity. We have David as Chief Communication and Media Officer. He travels to meet to Singapore tomorrow. He's 25 years in Eurosport. He built the whole media function of Saudi Pro League. He's a Frenchman in his 50s, extremely well experienced for this. And we are doing something with ByteDance and ByteDance that's tremendously interesting. A whole new media concept rolling out from SuperOne. We have Anthony that's worked 20 years in digital marketing, was one of the instrumental sources for making Betfair a success. He built the marketing department from 3 to 63 people and went into billions of pounds in turnover. Then we have new people on the product side, Chief Product Officer and Vice President of Product. Both comes from Manchester United digital department. One spent 7 years, another spent 3.5 years. Great experienced people, and is now touching the product in all senses. And yeah, there are more people into the partnership. We have probably 4 or 5 new resources working with us as executive advisors, executive directors, working for connecting partnerships. It's not only the star we're going to release first that's come online. There is a whole range of stars that is now lining up because they see what's coming, and they've been marketed this. They've been convinced, and we have great stronghold in the Spanish, in the Brazilian, and the Saudi areas of football, and also going further into both Spain and Italy. And obviously England. Anthony worked with Premier League for 15 years. So all this comes now together, and it's made possible because of all our strategic hard work and all the resources that you brought to the table is being deployed. And we are extremely proud where we are. We attend a lot of public conferences these days. The reason is not only to learn about the market, but also to tell the story about SuperOne. We are probably the only company out there that is created by creators. And there is no, at this point in time, even if we have offers, there is no significant large investor that runs the show. It is you guys that really made this possible. And we have been extremely clever at getting our resources in deployment. So this will be probably the first and the biggest company in the creator industry, affiliate industry, taking this concept to market. And that's what we're going to tell you all about today, at least a lot of it. And that's a great starting. So what I would like to start with, just to set the scene a little bit where we are with World Cup and all these things. World Cup is the world's biggest football event. Obviously, we are partnered with TikTok. TikTok is the preferred partner of FIFA, meaning that upwards of 1 billion football fans will hang around TikTok during World Cup. Not only during World Cup, they don't go away after that. They will continue their football passion on TikTok, meaning that SuperOne, we cannot compete with World Cup itself. That's for obvious reasons. There's no point competing against that. So when World Cup ends on the 19th of July, it becomes a huge vacuum in the market that we will fill. So we're going to launch now during World Cup, riding the wave of football in the world.
So what you don't realize is this is the second time that he was going to launch through some big event like this. And the reason I want to play some of this is because what I really want to do is we've got quality, speed. I'm just going to go 1.5 because soon we're going to see Christian, and it looks like he's operating there from home with his curtains, which I have seen before, but I just want to see his face. But it's just batshit crazy that this was only 4 weeks ago. They're claiming they've got a partnership with TikTok, and FIFA World Cup is when they're going to launch. There's no proof of this once again. This used to be Coca-Cola that they were partnering with, Netflix they were partnering with. Can you imagine TikTok and Netflix partnering together? Well, Christensen is claiming that he's done it. He's managed to be the magic source between all these large companies but none of these large companies even know about SuperOne. And that I think these guys, these scammers, actually start to believe themselves so much that they start living the lie like it's reality.
And when we get towards the end of World Cup, we will be there with the most exciting products, with the biggest things ever. So that's extremely exciting. We're going to do this in 3 phases. We call them press, pre-sale, and prime. Sorry for blacking out a lot of the graphics here, but we are obliged to do that at this point in time.
Oh my God. Be careful, guys. They've had to black out all the images so they don't get done for exposing who they're forming alliances with. I mean, it's wicked. And notice pre-sale. You know, this is where they make all their money. In the pre-sale, the hype.
Press release will come now in June. That's where the star goes in front of the press, promoting his concept, SuperOne, where we have global press release, where we have PR agencies pushing, where we have media running all the campaigns, and we do, like David will run very, very unique campaigns for us. This is where we get the initial credibility sort of, or the initial wave of interest. Then we will run into pre-sale, and the pre-sale is dubbed the hunt for the golden ball. We have a golden ball concept we talked about before that has been developed much, much more. And we have partnered up with Guinness World Record. I was visiting them in London some weeks ago, and we come to terms for how we do this. And then we will have Prime, which is the main launch of the main game with the Star Millions, with the Star, different Star games, with the digital twin and all that stuff. So now in June, the month we are into now, we're going to have the press release, and we're going to start a 10-week pre-sale. Why 10 weeks? We initially started with 3 weeks. Then one of the marketing director from Electronic Arts and FIFA division, one of the guys that brought Electronic Arts to 40% market share in Europe, we said, Andreas, it's too short. Go for 10 weeks. We usually had 9, 10, 11 weeks in Electronic Arts. So we opted for a 10-week pre-sale. So what is that pre-sale? That pre-sale is not for you. That pre-sale is for the fans around the world. So what we have created is 10 different types of collectibles that they have to buy every week. And what happened in the 11th week, they will be able to access the game exclusively. So the first Star Million game will run in week 11. That week 11 is exclusive to those who have completed all the steps during the 10-week pre-sale. By doing this, we're building a humongous momentum towards the launch with the $1 million on Sunday and 1 million prizes during the week. So this is the best of breed that has been done by many other companies, and this is the recommendation to us, and we, of course, will adhere to that. So we're doing that. So we created some marvelous, I cannot show you this campaign now, but this is for this star only. We're going to focus on the star we have to do a 10-week. So we split his career into 10 different phases, and we're creating a lot of content. So what happened if you join this? We will have packages from $1, $2.50, $5, $10, $25, and $50. When we run estimations for the average purchase price, when we consider the world, our top 20 priority markets, and the propensity to purchase, the average app store purchase, their ability, we end up plus minus $5. So you don't need to be a professor to understand if you have 5 or 10 million people into this pre-sale. Let's say we have 5 million people doing $5 a week, $25 million a week. Over 10 weeks is $250 million. That's a likely outcome of this pre-sale. And it can break out and become even into 10 figures, like a bill. It can go that way. It's crazy what can happen here. And we design this very smart. So if you enter here in, let's say, week 4, you're able to buy week 1 and 2 to complete your collection. The price will be higher than if you do it in the active week. Likewise, we are opening all the weeks to purchase in advance at a higher price. There will be incentives for buying early. The whole point is that many would like to secure a collection immediately. There will also be access to exclusive material for every week. So if you are in week 4, that's our focus week with the regular price. You want to buy week 7, you can do that. That will open week 7 for you. Week 7 will contain information that is used in the questions that will run in the 11th week about the star and his career and his clubs. So there is a great advantage. The whole point of this pre-sale is to activate fans all over the world, create momentum. And what's going to happen when this happens? All these fans will be applied onto your star packs that you have now. So the whole growth of the fan base will start when the pre-sale starts. That's very important. So this is not aimed at creators. This is aimed at fans. Going to be all over the world. Going to be different payment provisions for this. Working with like Pix in Brazil, which is a huge football market, Mada in Saudi Arabia, direct processing, etc., etc. So this is going to be a massive undertaking, and profit that comes during this will, of course, be commission your way. So we're going to get into details on that a little bit later. But so this is about building a momentum, building a fan base that's actually investing into this in terms of, or committing themselves into this. Obviously, there will be a lot of freebies also, but they will not get the access. So if you complete all the 10 weeks, you will get free into the first Star Million game. Ideally, this is the name of the star. And then only those with those 10 weeks will be able to win. That gives an exclusive early access, okay? This is very important. This is where we, during the pre-sale, start making real fan money together. Both the star will earn, of course, from this. You will earn alongside with the star, and the company will earn alongside with you. The whole point is to get this going, create momentum. So these products, we cannot reveal the products to you because then you obviously will know what's coming on. But this is really cool stuff. It's a boring slide, but it's very cool. So when you see the press, we talked about the press, they're going to be press release coming out. and it will be, of course, replicated on the star's social media that reach hundreds of millions of people. And obviously, we're going to have that. We're going to amplify it ourselves. We're talking to marketing and not marketing, but PR agencies and things like that. So we cannot go into all detail. We created an AI publishing engine that we will put wild, and it will produce articles right, left, and center. That's already being pre-authored on our site now. So the pre-sale, which we see there, is really cool. That leads us over when the pre-sale is open. We call prime time. This is when the main game opens. We start with the millions game, the Star Millions, because that's the game we already had last year, and that we played more than 10 million rounds now. Of course, we're changing the design. That's what I'm going to change show you now. We are upgrading the design to be prima. It's going to be the most sexy design out there, and it's really going to rock with a lot of different animations, sounds, etc. So what you have seen in SuperOne is a pilot, it's a test. What you will see forward is the avant-garde of gaming in the world on mobile. That's where we're heading. So let me go through a few slides. We have chosen a very neon dark gamified design that stand out from the crowd. And then you see here the stars, but if you see the icons we thoroughly created, don't think these stars represent the stars. This is just placeholders. If you look here on the design, you look on the icons, we designed really cleverly. This is really cool stuff that will be will go forward. So this is amazing how this will work. Obviously, there will be some further updates to this, but this is the one we are deploying now. And you see here the TikTok function coming in, all this tower thing. We're going to change the tower a little bit. It become actually stadiums, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as we move. You see the leaderboard will be really dynamic and really cool, and the $1 million, of course, is going to be a focus. You see in the background here the world with lights. We are working on that map solution, so you will be able to see your fans all over the world. And the green one is those who actually bring you money. That's going to be the most crazy map ever, because you're going to have people everywhere. And with Guinness World Records, the golden hunt for the golden ball will come. I can't show you more now, but we moved from the tower to actually using a standardized football pitch. The reason for this, when we started implementing the tower, we found a couple of nuances was difficult to get visually good. So we created something that's deployable for all clubs and all stars within a stadium. So we're moving to a stadium where we use a standard football pitch, 108 times 68 meters, and we fill it with balls. That's the world record, and we're going to have all the golden ball concept coming into that. That's amazing, and will be part of the pre-sale, of course. The pre-sale contains golden balls. There will also be some opportunity for you as creators to do something a little bit more edgy than the fans. That will come a little bit later. So that was actually what we're going to show over graphics at the moment. The reason for this, we have, of course, tons more that contain the star, contain the logo of the star, contain a lot of things that's tailored into this. So we cannot at this point in time disclose it. I disclosed it to the leaders the other day, and we know who the leaders are, so God forbid if they say anything. But I can tell you, this is really amazing stuff, and I'm very proud that we are at this stage now. And yeah, so that's pretty much where we are. We are moments away from getting the press release tuned, getting the pre-sale started. It will all come in phases. So the 10-week pre-sale is nothing for, of course, it's for you, because when that starts, there will be more people that want the loot boxes, the star packs, and all that will just boom. But at the same time, we're getting top-line revenue, waterfall coming from the fans all over the world that will be distributed into the creator network. That's the whole point. That's why you've been with us for a long time, is to make money from the players and the fans as they come in and start spending money. So you will have money spending from day one on the pre-sale. You will have virality coming. You will have growth. And obviously, we work with the star and his team for how we place. I mean, we have a liability for about 3 million players now, which is nothing. So obviously, will be some opportunities coming your way. I can disclose that we are creating something really cool that you can choose to be part of or not. And the thing is this, when you have a star with hundreds of millions of fans around the world, there is a large inventory coming our way, large inventory, tens of millions of players going to come, and they're going to invite and invite and invite. So we are able to leverage that star power, and we are able to leverage in a way that benefits you. That's the whole point. You've been with us for years, some of you days, some of you months, some of you weeks. It's all coming now, and we are very proud. So I think we should maybe take some questions if there are some questions. I'm not going to go into more details on this as we speak. The leaders know that I have not only one presentation, but many with a lot more. And obviously, they didn't even see all. They didn't even see a fraction of what we have. So that's where we are, folks. Very good moment. And I have to be tight-lipped because that's what I signed on for. I would love to share with you a little bit more, but we are not able to.
So there you go. You've heard it straight from the horse's mouth. So this is 4 weeks ago after the company has been into forced liquidation. Andre Christensen, which is the man on the screen behind me, has still claiming that they are going to be able to generate billions of dollars from his claim of sports betting. Every single part, everything that's come out of his mouth from now to the years has now been exposed. He's a liar. He's a bottom feeder. He is only promoting a program where he knows that somebody sells the concept, somebody gets commission. He will never deliver the product because there is no product. He will never prove any connection with any company because he has never done so. There has never, ever been any document served or provided that proves that he has a partnership with anybody. He will always hide behind NDAs and he will make up one story one year and a new story next year. Is this the final chapter? We don't know. Now, I am curious, because I'm Danny, what questions these people actually asked and whether they're staged or whether they're all positive. I can guarantee you that they'll all be positive because that's how he rolls. But let's listen to a couple.
So that's where we are. Any questions?
Yeah, perhaps if we could open up the chat for questions. But thanks, Andreas. That's excellent.
I would like to add one more thing. We had an interaction on the platform last night, 4 o'clock. I discovered it last night. That has been fixed. All commission has been paid.
Right.
Okay. Commissions having problems. That's a problem, isn't it? So the people that are in the same boat as him were having problems with commissions, and they just have to wait to get paid. Is that what you're saying, Andre? I think it's normal here.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes, love the 10-week pre-sale. And I guess what people need to understand that you start to earn in week 1 when the fans are allocated. And, as they spend money, we earn. And I can only imagine the momentum that's going to build up over that 10-week period.
Keep imagining. It's all in the future. No money now, all in the future. The future never catches up with the presence.
With everything that goes with it. And when the first $1 million prize gets paid out and the star hands over the check, the publicity that's going to surround that and the amount of people that will download the game as a result of that, I think it's just brilliant as far as that goes.
One thing is that we're going to have a huge momentum during pre-sale, and the 11th is going to be magnificent. But what do you think happened when one single guy wins $1 million on Sunday in week 11? What do you think happened in week 12? It's going to go crazy. And once that
crazy.
So we are very, very optimistic. When it comes to how many people will join the pre-sale, we operate with everything from 5 to 50 million. It's difficult to say. But based on when we run analytics, I run a lot of statistics for this, and we run this with many, many variables on AI today. When I put in 100 million purchases on these 20, blended into these 20 countries, I end up in $5.85 in average based on the packages. So $5, good thing. There will be collectibles. There will be filling. I mean, in the app, I can show you now, but in the app, there will be a list of 10 things to unlock to be able to participate in the first million game. So that is, how gaming is. It's like dum, 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 dum. I think maybe we can do a very good trick with the thing that you can buy all 10 weeks with a little bit higher price, bigger revenue, because people want to secure, and we will incentive early buyers. They will have more access. They will have more preferentials. All these details we can't tell you about now. So it will be beneficial.
Everything's secret.
If you are in week 3 to buy the remaining 7 weeks. And a lot of people are willing to use that to spend that money. In example, in Saudi Arabia, they spend easily $100, $200 a month on a game like this, easily. While you're in Indonesia, you don't have that spending power. While you're in Brazil, it's passionate and crazy. You're probably going to see $2.50 a week. Go to Australia, probably some crazy people there. But you have Germany.
I think he's talking about me. He knows me very well. And I think that was part of probably a dig at me, actually. Crazy people in Australia. He gets Australia mixed up with New Zealand. 3.5 hours away on an airplane, just saying.
England, you're probably going to see $10 a week in average. Norway, 25. So all this together, use $5 for calculation. So we only need 2 million fans to spend $5 a week.
2 million fans. Not hard to attain that at all. As long as the app can handle it. Every time I tried using the app, it crashed.
10 weeks to earn $100 million, folks. That's $100 million. That's quite a lot of money. That's going to be flushed in over 2.5 months. Then 2 million is nothing. If you put a zero behind it, you have $1 billion coming to the platform over 10 weeks. 100 million every week.
And he can't afford to pay his bills. And now he's been put into liquidation. Oh dear, Andre, you got so close. Oh dear.
Believe, you might call me reckless. I truly believe the truth is somewhere in between there. I will sort of say 5 million at $5, $25 million every week coming to the platform. And remember, we are not running this in the app store, so we have different economics. So you will get your money faster, better, and all these things. So that's...
He's not running it at the app store. Does that mean that it's been taken out of the app store? I might have a look while he's talking.
$25 million for 10 weeks is $250 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Remember, Pokemon Go, they made 100 million in 2 weeks when they launched. They made 200 million in 4 weeks, and that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. We are able to supersede that now. Obviously, security, servers, scalability, all issues. So once we put the press, you will see the creative community boosting. Once we put the pre-sale, there's the point of absolutely no return. Then you have ding, 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 and week 11 perform. So that's why everything needs to be not only tested, but stress tested from here to there. And we're still in the middle of that. And that's the beauty, because we have a global, digital, scalable business with absolutely no roof. We have our deliverability, our fulfillment is instant. There's nothing. And this is why this business can scale from 0 to hero based
Pay your internet
on a
connection.
global infrastructure.
Yeah. And can I just clarify, Andre? So, if somebody wants to compete in that
Is
first $1
Australia-
million
Any more
prize,
questions?
just to clarify, so for a person to compete in the $1 million prize, they have to be engaged for that whole 10 weeks, don't they? During the pre-sale, they've got to do something every week with the collectibles to be able to compete in the first.
No,
10
it's not only that. It's more complex than that because we have different tires. So obviously gold is $10. You need to collect 10 weeks of gold, and then you get access to the whole. Okay, I can reveal that the Star Stadium will replace the tower. So the stadium is built into sections, tires. It's like free.
Yeah.
Okay, there is bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, as we are used to. It's going to be built into the stadium that will give you different privileges, different revenue streams, different things. So obviously, different star. How should I say? Star memorabilia. A lot of different things going to come. Obviously, if you collect like a gold pass for 10 weeks, you invested sort of or purchase $100, you need to get something back. So in your fan book that will follow Golden Fan Book, you will have the star writing to you a special message like, Kevin, you're so beautiful. Love, Elvis.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been waiting to hear that all my life. Yeah. Okay.
So this
all right. So
there is I mean, the digital team we have at work now, they've done amazing things. And we have great resources, not only working from day to day, but also advising us. And Star, we not only have this Star, I mean, we have the whole 9 yards lined up now because a lot of these stars.
So just while I've been talking here, hopefully that's still working. Yeah, it is. So I did search for SuperOne fan battle, and it's got 9-star reviews. So this is going to be Entre's $1 billion apps, let's say. So you click open now, and you can join or log in. So you have to log in, I assume. Let's use Apple. All right, and I'm going to continue, and hopefully done. So now we log into the app, and last time I did this, it just kept crashing. Okay, so now we've got, changing language. Okay, play free game. Next game starts in 7 seconds, 5 seconds. Alrighty. Let's see what happens. So you can play free game. So what games play? I don't know. So let's play free game. Now, I didn't realize that you could actually have gambling on the App Store. So there's choose a region. Let's go. Can I go to New Zealand, France, Italy, Scotland, Turkey, Brazil, Netherlands, Portugal, United States? So there's no New Zealand. So it's just like a TAB thing. Okay, so I bet you anything you like if I connect. I got associated, and all of a sudden I see this thing clicking down. So I click on here and I go join. Okay. Now what do I do? Leave game. So prepare for battle. Okay, so the battle Roydale. Let's see what happens. My phone will go to sleep in 30 seconds, but let's see what happens. Okay. Prepare for battle. Radio. Swipe up. Freeze. Double tap. I don't know. Let's go. Right. So, screen capturing is not allowed. So, okay. So I don't know. Unfortunately, I can't display that. So now I'm going to unplug. Oops. Unplug that. And I don't know why it's still coming up on the screen. That's interesting. So let's just see if we can open it again. It's just... Okay, so I'm just going to stop it. Very, very sophisticated. Let's go there. Okay. Screen capturing is not allowed, so I'm just seeing what it does. I'll just start that off again, and I have turned the screen capturing software off. Unfortunately, I thought I was onto a winner there. I thought I was going to get... so let's play a free game, and I'll just do this and see what happens after the game starts. Oh, so now I have to go through the whole process again. I grab somebody, join the lobby, and I'm in the lobby, and I've now got pre-sale, prepare for battle, and it's given me 34 seconds to download. And let's see what happens. I'll tell you blow by blow. While we're waiting, let's listen to Christian go on a bit more.
Even we have a lot of stars coming with 10, 20, 30, even 40 million followers, okay? How could they monetize? If you have for argument's sake, you have a 20 million fan base and you have a 5% activation rate, you're looking at a million, okay? A million fans that you can activate as a star. If you activate a million people spending $5 a week and the star gets, in argument, for example, 10% is 500.
Okay, so now I've got this game going and it says, the question is, all right, so I'm now trying to swipe left or right on this app, and literally it tells me once again, screen capturing is not allowed, and I haven't even got the screen capturing problem. I haven't even got the software going. So I've got the same error I had. The app is just circulating, it's going around and around. So literally, this is the picture that I've got on my screen, and it's the same as I had, and it's still displaying. So the app doesn't work, or it doesn't run, and it's still got a problem with me doing what I did. So the technology behind it doesn't exist. It's just batshit crazy. So let's just carry on listening to Andre and see what else he says, because we might as well let the guy go down with the Titanic and keep digging his hole.
$1,000 a week is $25 million a year for a star at that level. That is something crazy that makes the, how can I say, the newly retired Ramos, Zidane, all of these, that is pretty famous, but still they are ready for us. And we not only have interest from football, we have huge interest from NBA. We signed an NBA star the other day. He's coming. He's 2 meters and 16 centimeters. I told him, the only way you can get into this photo with me is that if you are sitting in the couch. I'm not going to be dwarfed next to him. So that's NBA, NFL. You know, United States of America is really coming. When it comes to I've said this many times lately, we have been in Miami now 3 times the past 3 months, more or less. We're setting up the whole holding company of SuperOne comes in Miami and Brickell Avenue with Delaware company. We are fully compliant. We're using Cooley as the lawyers, the best lawyers in the US for all kind of tech business. Our listing going to be compliant with the United States. The amount of financial liquidity that comes into market from US going forward is crazy. It's humongous. It will supersede many, many other markets. So regardless of politics, US is really booming and Miami is the place to be. They are attracting stars from all over the world, and MLS, Major League Soccer, is expanding rapidly. So we're speaking to people working in Miami, into Miami. So there are fans around now, and they come from all over the world.
So the two main questions always, Andreas, is with this rollout, how will that impact on the listing? Okay, and the other one is
a successful rollout, like I explained to the leaders. A successful rollout will create a Web 2 layer that produces insane amount of revenue. That will have a waterfall all the way down to the Web 3, and will make the Web 3 unprecedented in the world. Never happened before that you have a protocol coming to the market with top floor revenue that is coming down, and that kind of waterfall will be so promising because a successful star launch will just open for more. So the forward projections will be crazy. That will make the token probably one of the most sought after tokens when we get to that point. A little bit new tokenomics coming because of regulation, because of ability to grow and things like that. No problem. We're going to have a token scheme. I personally think it will be worth $5 to $10 billion pretty much out of the box, out of the gate when we start. It is depending on the market conditions. Obviously, when you see when Israel is bombing Tehran and vice versa, it kind of affects the sentiment of the market. But once we get past some of these issues in the market and the regulation in the US is more solidified, you will see the institutional money coming in so tremendous that the market sentiment will turn. We are hopefully at that bottom.
And I think what's also different now with what is also different now with the revenue that will come in from the fans is going to be quite extraordinary. So the issue of the listing of the tokens is maybe not as urgent as we first thought when some months back.
I mean, what you want? You want a listing now with a lot of pop and buying and selling and a lot of things, and it kind of have the risk of never coming up. Or you want a successful listing where you end up in, let's say, $10 a token, $20 a token, something like that. I mean, that's what we want. We will really want this to be your Armageddon. I mean, you personally have a lot of token, I know, and I have, and everybody has. And the strike price is pretty low. So what we want is to have deep liquidity, because when you and me start harvesting a little bit, we want to be able to do so without impacting the market. We need to have a high and solid market cap. We need to have depth in the order book, and that depth in order book takes time to build, and you need a solid business. If you have a solid business, it's no problem. So it all comes back to the good old business. It's like I mean, you could list a company based on a PowerPoint in the heydays. Still, maybe you see it a little bit in the AI industry now, but normally, historically, when you listed a company, that was based on maybe a decade of success or at least a 3-4 year track record. So I'm not saying we're going to wait 3-4 years. I have a strategy to list this year. Okay, having said that, so but now we're pushing this out. We're gonna, in the wake of the success of the game, we're gonna list the token, because success breeds success, and that will create the demand.
Yeah. Can I just make a comment? There's people putting in questions in regards to bonuses and tech. Just go to
haven't
the
had
upline
any
for that. This is not the forum
questions
for
answered
that. Just reach out to the upline, and we're more than happy to help out with those questions. So I think the other thing is too, like people, if the press release happens this month, once the train has left the station, there's no stopping where this thing is going, and we're all waiting for that. As I know you are. There's nobody more interested in the launch of this company than Andre, Alex, and yourself, Andreas.
Let's see what we cook tomorrow. I have an overnight flight to Singapore. I'm meeting the top brass of ByteDance tomorrow for a long workshop session and dinner. So there might be a couple of aces in the sleeve the next few weeks. Don't worry. I'm here. Aces. This is my only thing. This is we are creative at how we navigate this, and we really want this to explode from here to there. And we will get that. No, we are here. So being invited to the ByteDance headquarters of a $500 billion private company is a testament in itself. And we are meeting now SuperAI in Singapore. We lined up meetings with OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, DeepMind, etc., etc. So we are traversing the scenes where shit happens, and we call us the agentic layer of sports. So don't worry, we are very much aware of what we're doing, and now we're going to be one of the few AI-driven companies, because we are all AI now. We don't talk about trivia anymore. We talk about AI, agentic-driven fan engagement, gamified agentic-driven fan engagement. Okay, we are one of the few with a real-world use case. That is not just pairing words on history. We are creating history. We are creating entertainment. So we are forward-looking. We are early. Right. And this is why we have 20 AI engineers in Hong Kong from the ByteDance ecosystem. And obviously, the whole team is more than 90. 20 of them have PhD degree in AI. So we have some of the best ones in the world. So now we're pushing. Just wait and see. This will explode from here to there. And we will all be very proud. Okay, I have a flight to catch in 45 minutes. I'm picked up. So I have to say thank you very much for the music, and stay tuned. Make sure, one more thing. The promotion ends tomorrow, 9. By midnight tomorrow, it's gone. We will not relaunch any new one. There will come some new surprises, but that's for another event to talk about. So do your best to win what's happening now. Those tokens that you get now, imagine them at $10 US a piece. Then you will remember that I worked really hard those days, and I deserve this. It's cool. Thank you all very much. A great thank to you, Kevin, to Steph, to Stians, and everybody, Shelly, everybody that's doing a great work. Let's pump up and move forward. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thanks very much, Andreas. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right. So that was a real bonus. I'm just actually curious. So out of going back to so that's the last chapter of Andreas. I am curious to find out whether this Kevin, who this Kevin is. SuperOne's homepage, kevin.net. Is it Tom? Yeah, just wouldn't mind betting. Kevin, National VIP of Sales. Because I've seen this Kevin guy who's claiming Kevin is Superstore. Yeah, so what's the Kevin? Is this the Kevin? That's not the Kevin I'm looking for. So the Kevin I'm looking for is this guy. It's SuperOne. I'm just going to do a screenshot and see whether he comes up anywhere else. Anywhere else. No. Maybe. No. Yeah. But one face that I've just emailed is Shelley Law, Labor. And she was a big promoter at the time of SuperOne. So I can only assume if you go here and read about her, she's got a whole 108 followers. She's even blocked me, which is fantastic. But you would expect to find out more information. So if you went to places like SuperOne, you would expect to see a company that's going to go to the moon and back. Oh, look, here I am live on X right now. So if you went SuperOne and you search for Kevin, hopefully we'll be able to find this guy. But we don't find these people, do we? SuperOne, you sort of hope to. Fitness. Is this Kevin? No. Yeah, so I don't actually know who Kevin is. So if anyone knows Kevin, I've seen him in numerous videos. I remember seeing this one of Shelley, Basically, at the time, she was trying to get on the cruise ship with Bitcoin Rodney, and she couldn't. So she was reporting this is a 60. Is it 60 million or 60? I can't remember. $60 million yacht. She was trying to get on this launch with Bitcoin Rodney at the time. That was a hyperverse measure. But she couldn't. She could only record and get photos of him from the outside. I remember asking her questions about this event.
In this community, in this crypto culture that we're developing, that want to educate.
Yeah, so she was trying to do the big time, but here she is trying to interview crypto, who's now in jail, by the way.
And we just had an amazing event this weekend, thanks to this.
Yeah. He's just been sentenced for drug trafficking once again, was importing cocaine. I have literally been in meetings with the IRS. They wanted a video proving that Bitcoin Rodney was promoting hyperverse because he actually did it pretty much under the radar. She couldn't get on the cruise ship with him, which is ironic. That's why you see this. But Sally Labor is a lady that I've just sent an email to now. But I'm wondering how she feels about the collapse of SuperOne and why she decided to promote it. So it would be quite fun to find SuperOne, other videos of SuperOne, and I'm just, because I'm just trying to see if I can find any videos which we just looked at. So I'm just going to go into here and check out this town hall.
Yes, Andreas, direct.
Because this channel, which I've bookmarked, is all about, these are individuals that have been promoting SuperOne. So to save myself a lot of trouble, there's a YouTube channel called @SL_SuperOne. And when I go into SuperOne, I should be able to see that she has been promoting of Hyperverse. And then here, next thing what we're going to do is we're going to add that to my list, which will help me in future things. And let's have a wee look and see what other things they were promoting. I might just go to this Zoom meeting. So is that her?
Hello, everybody. I am Shelley LeBaugh coming at you from the mean streets of Jersey. We're going to dive in tonight. So welcome to the Thursday night SuperOne VIP overview and member update call. This is going to be an epic one for the books, and I hope that you share this with everybody. We're going to have all three of the founders. That hasn't happened in a while. We're going to have Andreas, Stian Alexander, and Stian Andre on this evening. So I'm going to go through the presentation so everybody knows what's going on when they start dropping really cool updates that nobody else in the field has heard. You guys are...
We have heard them before, but this is only a month ago.
And we will always have our freemium model. You can play 10 games for free, but that you can exhaust. It's consumable. So these are good for a week. So if you use it up,
I thought that we were going to have Entree on here, but this whole video here.
Getting a fan pack and a booster all at once.
Yeah. So she was out there selling commissions. I've sent her a message. So here we go. Let's listen to the very last of it.
One of the amazing founders with us tonight.
Amazing
Actually, all three of the amazing founders, but one of them doesn't get on many of our calls. So we have Alex and Andre, the two Stians, and I think Andres, if he's not here already, be joining us very shortly. Alex.
Sorry. Stian Andre, could you make him co-host? Because I can't do it on my end. Hi, Andre.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, Alex.
Good evening.
It was a great presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great presentation.
Yes, it's really, really exciting now. So Andreas is now in Miami. We had some great meetings. So he's joining here now. So maybe he can update a little bit, tell what's going on, and then we can talk after, because there is a lot of exciting now. So it is hard to rest and relax. Hello, Andreas.
Hey.
Straight in from Miami.
He is, I know.
Welcome to Miami.
Hi, Andreas. Hello.
You're muted, Andreas.
I am. I'm doing it right now. I got it. It took me a minute to find him in the chat. Okay, there he is.
There we go. So then it's cut off. But if you want to, you can find it. Just as I said, go to SL_SuperOne. That's the username. You know, these are all just,
This isn't a trailer.
That is a trailer. Let's see what else we've got. A month ago, 44. And once again, we're the same shit going on every day. We go to the very end, and when it gets to the end, they have these.
Thank you, everybody, and a great job. And we see you soon. And I hope for next time now when we see each other, we are big outside and public.
Well, we don't think so. We're actually liquidated. The last chapter, or is it, after seeing presentations just a month ago, after this going from 2013, where have we got ourselves to today, you may ask? Well, I spent almost 4 years investigating Andre Christensen and SuperOne. He's begged me not to expose him, but I have done, and now we find that the company's being put into forced liquidation. And if there's one thing experience has taught me, it is the collapse of a company doesn't always mean the end of the people behind it. We're still going to see people like Alexander, Kevin, Shelley. They will look for another bucket of vomit to promote to their community. They will claim that if you want to make money, you've got to trade your way out of the last disaster they promoted you into. Doesn't always mean the end of the people behind it. Time and time again, I've watched failed ventures disappear, only to re-emerge under a different name, a fresh corporate structure, another compelling story designed to attract new generations of investors. Whether the compulsory liquidation of Super Labs AS marks the final chapter of the saga or simply the beginning of another rebrand remains to be open. What can not be rewritten, however, is the documented record. The webinars may disappear. The websites may change the marketing videos. Many eventually have been, the marketing videos, many eventually been forgotten. Is that eventually?
Eventually.
Yes, been forgotten. But the court orders, company filings, financial statements, and public record remains. They tell a story that is often very different from the one presented on the stage. The show must go on, they may say. My job has never been to tell people what to think. It's to follow the evidence wherever it leads and present the facts so investors can make informed decisions for themselves. So if you supported SuperOne, I encourage you to look beyond the sales presentations and ask the difficult questions that should have been asked from the very beginning. If you are considering your next investment opportunity, remember that promises are easy to make, but evidence is much harder to fake. As for me, I'll keep doing what I've always done, follow the paper trail, documenting the facts, and holding the people behind the scheme accountable. And if history has taught us anything, it is that this probably isn't the last we've heard from Andre Christensen. How did I do this investigation? Well, I think you figured it out. I've managed to monitor every Zoom meeting, every publication that I've seen, but now we've used court documents. This investigation relies on what we call open source intelligence, meaning every claim made here is publicly available records, archive web pages, corporate filings, domain name data, social media activity, and open blockchain transactions. Way at the very start of this investigation, we looked at the tokens that were up for offer. We noticed that over 50% of those tokens were owned by one individual. Guess who? Andre Christensen, which means that he was pumping something to gain perceived value, which means as soon as you bought these tokens, he could sell over 50% of the tokens in a heartbeat and drop everyone holding the bag. When I do my investigations, we don't need to access private data. We don't do any hacking or unlawful access methods. We just use OSINT as a powerful ethical tool for exposing scams without violating any laws or any stepping legal boundaries. If you don't know who I am Danny DeHeck. I'm a YouTuber. I don't do this for clicks. In fact, it's the worst profession I've ever been in, to be honest. I have a podcast. It's very vocal. You can book me if you're experiencing any troubles with any Ponzi scheme or scam, or you've been scammed, please do reach out to me. I've been featured on CoffeeZilla, Bloomberg, News Australia, Opal India, Press, The Guardian Australian, ABC News, the New York Times, even Radio New Zealand, even the Otago Times, and lots of other news agencies. I have embedded that video for you to watch because I do believe that will be the last video that we will see for a long time. I do encourage people to check out my website, which in my website you will see I am an investigative journalist exposing the truth. I am actually available for speaking engagements. As I said, I'm a podcaster, I'm a public speaker, and I'm a connector of people. I have a lot of amazing people, and I'm about to get some amazing connections in the next 3 or 4 months that you will hear about in the not too distant future. Some exciting things are happening. I've been featured in a lot of news articles exposing the truth. My claim to fame at the moment is actually the latest CoffeeZilla video, where it has been looked at by over 4 million people. I'm well connected. I have a website full of lots of blogs and the like. I just actually finishing an investigation at the moment, which is going to be published soon. I haven't finished the blog. It will be tomorrow. One Trade AI Arbitrage, which is a Ponzi scheme that has already fallen over. I've already written a blog, and it's an extensive blog. If you have anything to do with this scheme, look out because we're going to expose it. So, so things are happening. This was the scheme that we're looking at. Would you believe that this scheme here has already fallen over? People have lost their money and they literally rebranded themselves. I started this investigation while I was doing a live yesterday. There will be more to come. If you are involved with SuperOne and you have lost money, we would still like to hear from you. We'd love to have some victim impact statements available. We can update the blog and let people know about their involvement. I still remember the day when I rang up and I talked to Andreas when he was drunk. You'll see there's a lot of famous people. Let's see if we've got that recorded. Come out alive. Let's have a listen. And you'll hear, which I will bring up. I think I timestamped these. Okay, so let's go here and let's go to that. There we go. Listen to this. Are you there?
Hi, Danny. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What are you up to?
I'm doing very good, Danny. I'm trying to. I'm releasing a game next month, and I want to.
Yeah. Are you sure about that? Because you've been claiming to do that for a wee while now.
I'm not only.
This is November 2022. He's releasing a game next month. That was now 4 years ago.
Releasing the game. I've been working very hard for a long time, doing things with not only the game but the whole concept.
Right.
And I feel like, okay, I made some major partnerships in the world, and I feel like you're trying just to ditch me all the time.
Mate, you've got a history that's worse than Donald Trump, mate. No offense to Trump.
Pardon?
You've got a history that's worse than Donald Trump.
Well, I'm not gonna go into any quarrel. I'm just gonna say to you, I'm reaching out a hand to say, okay, can we discuss these things? Because you're approaching me, and I'm approaching you, and I feel like it's really bad because I'm into this. I have global partnerships with
oh, no, you don't, mate.
People.
No, mate, I'm not even going to let you go down that track. You've conned quite a few people, and they're all disgruntled, right? So you can't stand here and tell me that you're going to smooze your way into my life and tell me a bunch of porkies, because you're obviously a professional at doing it. So I'll give you an opportunity. If you want to come on a podcast with me and tell me what you're about to tell me, face to face, and I can ask you a few questions.
The thing is, I think one thing you're doing very wrong, to be honest.
Oh, here we go.
One thing you're doing very wrong.
Yeah.
You are without any regard listening to people.
I'm not listening to people. I'm listening to your sale. I was on a Zoom meeting with one of your sales guys, and he was showing me how he's taking money out of the platform already. And I thought we were collecting money so that people could
No, Danny, listen. You always think to people like Alper, and he's gone bankrupt. He has been cheating banks in Norway for a long
I'm just going
time.
to change
So
screens.
you have crooks that comes to you and say a story, okay? So I'm
You
just
throw,
trying to say,
mate,
okay?
you throw anyone under the bus to get what you want, don't you?
No, I'm just trying to tell you the real story. And I'm trying to say,
No,
okay,
there is no real story, mate. You've been going since, was it Momo? What do you call it? Momo.
the story is that I'm releasing a game in about
No,
2
you're not,
weeks.
because you were releasing that last month, mate. You just keep peddling people along.
No. The thing is, you are creating blogs and things based on very little information.
Well, I don't
What do you
understand
do?
why you haven't come and talked to me sooner. Why don't you come and do a
Because
podcast with me?
I don't respect your kind of journalism because
Well, I don't
you're
respect
not-
your type of scamming, mate. But I'm got you talking to you now.
I'm not scamming anybody.
You are. You.
I'm
What
just
about the guy?
very-
What about the article in the paper in Norwegian, the Norwegian paper about the guy that invested $4 million with you?
Nobody has lost $4 million with.
Well, they haven't lost it, but they've invested it with you.
You are not critical to your sources, and this is a crucial.
It's a
thing
newspaper,
that,
mate. The Norwegian newspaper published an article about your shenanigans.
I think one thing, if you are a journalist and like you're
I'm not a journalist. I'm a Joe Blogs.
Then you should be a little bit critical to your sources, okay?
Well,
and you should look at who's your sources. Have they been charged?
So are you saying a 3,000 word article in the Norwegian paper about how you are conning people isn't authentic?
I've not been conning anybody.
You say that.
You know, Danny, I've been actually taking a course against the Norwegian state.
Oh, mate, you're taking legal action against me. It never happens.
And that's also happening.
Oh, whatever. You're full of it, mate. You're just a con man. You're full of it. You come on a podcast. Come on a podcast with me and tell me we'll answer.
From a professional point of view.
You are not a professional, mate. You're a con man.
Okay, you can tell me I'm a pro man. You're not a professional journalist.
I'm not.
You're not respecting any kind of.
I do not respect you, mate. I do not get in bed with scammers. You've got tokens that are pumping and about to be dumped.
You can call me a scammer.
Yes.
And you are a fucker, okay?
Ooh, good one. Is that the best you can do?
No, I have a business. I have a fixed.
It's not a business, mate. You're a con man. Lovely house, by the way.
So the thing is, I'm not a con man at all. Not at all. I
Yes, you are.
have employees every day.
Get one of your customers to ring me up and tell me how wonderful you are then. Because every customer you have complains about how you've taken their money and they can't get it out.
Who do I take money from?
I got a guy that wants to top you off, mate, because you've taken a lot of money off him.
You are talking about one guy.
One guy. There's 5 guys that invested over $100,000 with you and lost it. One guy in the Norwegian paper invested $4 million with you, mate.
You don't have 5 guys who invested $100,000 in me. You have one guy, and you don't are source critic, okay? This guy is wanted by the Norwegian police for bribing or for doing bad things with people in Norway.
You are probably as well.
You're wrong.
Well, come on a podcast with me and tell everyone how wonderful you are as a businessman. I'm open to it. If you don't want to do it, it shows you're a con man, doesn't it?
You're not source critic. That's the wrong thing. You're not a journalist. You're
Okay.
just a fucker.
All right. Well, tell me why you pinched Fantasy's video and claimed it as your own.
I didn't change it. I paid for it, and they actually sent it to me.
Rubbish. I've talked to the head guy at Fantasy, and you've still got that video on your Vimeo. So literally, they plagiarized somebody's video, ripped it all apart, put their own branding all over it. And then we went to Fantasy, which is a big organization, and asked them if they were aware that Christian had done this to their video. And they come back and said to me, they wanted to go after him for stealing their own copyrighted video. They basically produced a video, gave them a proof of the video, and then he started using it and hadn't paid them for it, or something like that. I can't remember exactly because this is 4 years ago. Channel. You're a liar, mate.
He's not talking the truth.
Well, why would a big company like Fantasy say that they have no connection with you? You went to them originally.
They didn't say they owe me money.
They did not produce that video. You did it.
Never, ever.
You are just lies. You will say anything. You will say anything to get what you want.
Danny, the way you're working is so critical.
Mate, criticize everyone else. It's just remove the gauntlet from your own eye before you start picking on other people. You got nothing on me. I'm out there exposing people like you so they don't lose their money.
You know, I will give you one piece of advice.
Oh, no, I don't want any of your advice, thanks, mate. It's just, you might as well have an elephant in your room. Hear that noise? That's you going to jail, mate.
Hey, Danny.
Yeah, mate.
Hey.
You going to give me some more advice?
How are you?
Good.
Fantastic. How are you tonight?
I can't understand you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So they were having work drinks. Andre was having a few drinks. At the start of that conversation, I asked him whether he was drinking. He denied it. So this guy come on the phone afterwards, and basically told me that Andre's had a few drinks, and they're in the office and they're working for him. So one of his staff members, it was actually batshit crazy. But what I'm trying to say, guys, I actually go head to head with these guys. I'm not going to pussyfoot around. This company made so many claims. The only reason I started investigating them because somebody reached out to me who'd lost a lot of money. Like all good investigations, I started investigating more and more. Today, we find Andre Christensen has been put into forced liquidation. If we go through, even looking at, I showed you earlier on, all these names, all these companies have been dissolved. If we see this could be the end of Andre. We've had some fun with him on the phones. It just goes on and on. We can see the corporate structure of his historical stuff. It's just all fallen over. That's not relevant. That's yesterday's scam, but this was a today of forced liquidation of Andre. Is this the last that we ever see of Andre? I doubt it. I believe he will come up with excuses. He won't have the document. Unfortunately, people are still probably signing up for it. All the promoters that were paid commissions have raped and pillaged any money that was left in the company. It's just sad. So now we only got a few votes, but we'll end the poll that was in the chat room. And the poll was, what is the verdict? After 4 years of promises, what do you think will happen to SuperOne in the end? 88% of people voted. Another rebrand coming. Let's watch this space. I hope you enjoyed today's video, but it's hopefully the end of Andre and his merry men. Now, I don't know why, but my wee screening thing has decided to, let's see if I can get rid of that. That's better. So we go right back there. My lighting has changed in my room, and you can see in my eye, it's a little bit blurry. But anyway, so that's me, and that's today. Thank you to everyone that's been in the chat room here, listening to me and watching my live. We do have another investigation that will come out tomorrow. Make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channels. That's not why we do it, but the more viewers, the more interacting we get with the videos, the bigger the footprint I get, and the more I can reach people who are thinking about investing with these bottom feeders of the planet like Andre Christensen. That's another nail, or hopefully we've screwed the coffin down on Andre Christensen, who's just a big scammer. And anyone that's been promoting him in the past, do not listen to these people. They will now come up with another Ponzi scheme and scam to promote to you. We've had enough. Let's stop these individuals. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Danny DeHeck and the team of Avengers. Thanks for watching.
promised us a revolution, a game to change the world, a token that would make us wealthy. NFTs, big partnerships, global expansion, every webinar, another countdown, every presentation, another promise, always tomorrow, never today. I followed every meeting, I followed every filing, I followed every promise, I followed every delay. And while the spotlight stayed on the dream, the paper trail was telling another story. Goodbye, SuperOne, the dream has come undone. You promised us tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. Goodbye, SuperOne, the paper trail lives on. The courts have had their say. Now the truth can't be outrun. The launch dates change, the deadlines move, the vision stayed the same. Another update, another roadmap, another reason to keep believing. But behind the scenes, debt collectors called, court dates were set, creditors were waiting. The evidence kept growing. Hope can inspire, but hope isn't evidence. Marketing creates belief. Documents reveal reality. Goodbye, SuperOne, the dream has come undone. You promised us tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. Goodbye, SuperOne, the paper trail lives on. The courts have had their say. Now the truth can't be outrun. Oh, oh, oh. 4 long years, watching, recording, investigating. The websites changed, the branding changed, the company changed, but the questions never changed. Forced liquidation,